Welcome back, everybody, to Warriors of the Rainbow Spiritual Guidance YouTube channel. As always, my name is Jason, and I'm going to be your guide, your brother. I'm going to deliver a little message here, a little teaching for those out there that come from a Christian or Catholic or any biblical background. I'm going to express a truth here that will help you unlock the keys to that book and how you could see it from a higher perspective or a lower perspective. Truly, that's what that book is. Because that book is about consciousness. It's about man's journey from an unconscious being to a conscious being. You are Christ. Once you become conscious of the I am presence in you, you become Christ. That is the Christos, the enlightened one, the anointed one, right? So, what I have been shown and received confirmation in many avenues is when you read the book, the Bible, which is a great book, by the way, lots of beautiful illumination teachings in that book if you know and you have the eyes to see and the ears to hear. What unfortunately is happening is the book is being taught from a subconscious ego mind instead of an enlightened way of looking at things, right? Instead of consciousness. So the Old Testament is a representation of um, unconscious actions, the unconscious mind, the intellectual side, right? It's the unconscious mind. And then the New Testament is the conscious mind, the consciousness, the enlightened mind. So what you find is in the Old Testament, you'll find stories that um, there are consciousness in there because it is actually the beginning of consciousness right at Genesis, right? In the beginning, God created man and woman, divine feminine and divine masculine energies, right? And the union that you find in Genesis is the inner union that happens within man. The light and the dark is a representation of the higher or the lower self, the higher light or the lower light. Um, so it is the beginning of consciousness, not the beginning of time, not the beginning of creation. It's the beginning of the conscious mind, the conscious man. It's the beginning of man receiving consciousness. And if you read it like that, you will then see that the book is a journey of ascension, of going from unconscious to conscious. So that's what I've been receiving. So when you read the book, when you read the Bible, you want to read it in the allegory and the metaphorical way of the Eastern traditions, right? Because if you don't understand the way their meanings of certain words, you're not going to understand the meaning of the passage, right? Um, Pass age, right? So it's like passing another age. That's what passage. There's so much deep things, you guys. Once you become enlightened, you start seeing things. So I challenge you because it is full of enlightenment. That is truly one of the masterpieces of the world. The Bible is. And what I'm seeing in the spiritual community is a lot of people are shunning Christians and teaching people that they're unawake, they're not spiritual, and that is wrong and far from the truth. There's actually plenty of highly spiritually enlightened beings in that church system, just as there is outside of that system and every other system. There is no separation. We are not here to condemn a religion. No, because once you're enlightened, you see that there's truth in everything and you walk in your truth regardless. You're not projecting lower vibrational things onto people, right? So, yes, there is an older energy paradigm that is suppressing the Bible and taking from it what it actually meant. They're stuck in an older energy and they're not, whether or not they're consciously doing this or unconsciously doing it, I'm not here to speak against that. I hate that the good versus evil paradigm that they're propagating, because it's not an existence. I'm telling you, it's not, okay? There's a polarity of energies that we all embody, and we will for our entire experience in this realm. You cannot live without the polarity within you, because the energies that were created in this system are there to cause you to make movements. So if you fall off your path, off the track, then in the lower energy is going to come in and pop you right back on, smack you right in the butt, right back onto your path. So there is a polarity, but it's all one. The yin and the yang is still one whole object. It is not separate. That is the yin and the yang. That is consciousness, that is spirit, that is source, is all one. How can a house divided against itself stand? It can't. So now I'm showing you guys many things. I'm teaching you about the Bible being a book of illumination, a book of enlightenment from man's journey through consciousness. That's what it is. A lot of those stories never happened. For example, the book of Job is about what it is like when you have a job and you focus just on money. That's what job, get it? It's there. I mean it. Look at it like that and you'll see the story, right? Every book in there is an allegory and a metaphorical book. There is some real life history in there, mostly not real life history. It's just based on real people, some of it, right? But when you see that now, when I gave you these keys, when you read that book, you will then see what I'm talking about. It is a book of consciousness, from subconscious to conscious. From, it's the yin and the yang. There's lower vibrational choices that happen in there, and then there's higher ways of doing things in there, right? It is your job to see it from a higher perspective. Now, second message, the yin and the yang. The book is full of truth and false truth. It's your job to see from a higher perspective. If you want to see the high, the yin, or the yin, right? Yin and yang. You see the higher perspective, or you see the lower perspective. But if you want to judge where your consciousness is at, you read a book like that and you'll know, because you are what you see. So that's a great way to see how you're ascending, is to read that book. But there is no separation, and that is the point. The holy, get it? Holy to, which by is meaning to, bell, which is, I'd have to look that up, but that's what it's showing you, right? To become one, oneness, wholeness. So I'm sharing that with you guys. It's a message that I got to help you go back to that book and read some of it, because there's so much in it now that you really, if you read it and you have this understanding, and you don't, press your anger and frustration that you have from the church and not getting the truth, because that had to happen and it was there for a reason, you guys. So, and those people that, we may be upset with, yes, a lot of them, but there's so many beautiful people in that religion, right? So we don't want to separate ourselves from them. We want to teach them too. So what do you need to, how do you get in and infiltrate? You love these people and you teach them the truth by being the truth. Not by pressing the truth onto them, but by being it in your life, so that they see it and want to ask you. So there's a new age upon us, guys, and there's going to be many people waking up in that system, and you're going to be able to learn, if you read it now with this understanding and this understanding, this wisdom, you'll be able to show them. I recommend authors like Emmett Fox, Neville Goddard. He talks about the Bible a lot. And Emmett Fox, amazing. Really opened my mind to it. But I already knew this stuff. I started seeing things differently in 2019 when I started awakening. Fully awakening. I mean, I've been going on my awakening since 2009. But 2019, something shifted. Tremendous shift, right? So that's the message I got for you guys. Check out the Bible now and read it in a higher perspective. And letting you guys know, every night, 9:30, I will be going live. I may not be going live this weekend as often because I will be out of town for the Memorial Day weekend, spend time with the family, but I may try to get on still. You know me. I hope you all could be there. I hope this message helps you. Hope it resonates, and I hope that you're able to think twice and go back to that scriptures and see what I'm talking about. From my sacred heart to yours, namaste.